birds make non-iridescent structural colors with combinations of proteins and air within particular cells of their feather barbs.
I was studying how birds like blue jay and scrub jays and kingfishers, they make these kind of blue colors that doesn't shimmer, that is not metallic. We call it non-iridescent.
In previous work, we discovered that these materials are self-assembled. They come in two flavors or shapes, if you will. One is spherical, like the bubbles of beer, and the other is kind of twisted, like the swirls in a bowl of miso soup. When Vinod was a graduate student in my lab, we wanted to characterize all the non-iridescent structurally colored birds of the world by whether or not they were spherical or channel-like in their nanostructures.
One of the important aspects of my research is using collections-based specimens.
That meant putting a lot of feathers in the X-ray beam, looking at how they scatter the X-rays and reconstructing aspects of the nanostructure from those scattered particles.
I was going through the drawers of the Peabody Museum, drawer by drawer, and I came across these really interesting birds called leaf birds, and they are only found in South and Southeast Asia.
Unlike all of the bubbles in beer type, the spherical, or the miso soup, the channel types that we identified before, we had something new. We had a crystalline structure, a structure with multiple peaks in different and unexpected places. The experiments are so well controlled, the apparatus so beautifully structured, that when you get these results, you know it's not an error. You know that immediately you've got something new. What's interesting, in other research, we've looked at these in butterflies. So it turns out these particular peaks come in certain ratios, and so we were well prepared to explore, wait a minute, what kind of crystals are these? And to identify this material as a gyroid. A gyroid is a shape that has a lot of special properties. At every point on the surface of a gyroid, it has the shape of a saddle. And that's occurring on every point on the surface of a gyroid.
Coming to the actual structure that we discovered, it's called a single gyroid. Single gyroids normally do not naturally occur. The birds, they're making the single gyroid directly, and that offers a new way, completely new to physics.
I am really into this because I care about birds. But what's fascinating is that this discovery has huge implications for technology and for the practical world.
The single gyroid has superior electronic and optical properties. So that means that this structure, if we can make it large enough, they can interact with sunlight to trap the light.
Kind of a century after the electronic revolution, we're poised for another technological revolution in photonics. So what that requires is controlling the flow of light. These optical structures that birds are using to make colors are also the kinds of structures you could use to manipulate the flow of light that will allow you the development of photonic technology. The birds provide an answer for that because they create the conditions under which these materials make themselves. So that implies a very practical line for technologists to pursue. Self-assembling, photonic scale, single network gyroids in the lab. Because the birds can do it, we know we must be able to as well.